Thinking like a caveman transformed my dating life. I want you to think of what a caveman's primary purpose was in life. It was simply just to survive and reproduce. If a caveman survived and he lived long enough to go on and reproduce, he lived a successful life. And do you think that a caveman was overthinking talking to a girl that he found attractive? Do you think that he was scared to go up and say hi? No, because that was the only thing that he was thinking about doing in order to live a successful life, was to pass on his genes, and he knew he had to interact with some girls in order to do so. So, thinking like a caveman transformed my dating life because I was always in my head overthinking everything, not knowing what to say, having so many imaginary fears and limiting beliefs around talking to girls that it prevented me from ever trying. So simply by just thinking like a caveman and taking away all those imaginary fears and limiting beliefs, I was able to transform my dating life with ease. So a lot of you guys are way too wrapped up in your head with all these imaginary fears, and the best way to overcome them is going to be to push your comfort zone, and that is going to allow you to build true confidence. So boys, I built you a confidence transformation guide that's going to allow you to start acting like a caveman and going and talking to every single girl by overcoming your fears and pushing your comfort zone. That is one of the many steps that I give away in this guide that allowed me to develop true internal confidence and become the man I am today. You can grab that for free. It's the first link in the description below. I really want you to think for a second. If you were sitting down with your ancestors from thousands of years ago and you're telling them that you're scared to talk to girls, what do you think that they would think of you? They would probably be so ashamed and disappointed at the offspring that has come from them thousands of years later, that you're some bitch just sitting around scared to talk to some girls. I mean, that's what I would have thought of myself at 19. When I was too scared to go out and talk to some girls, if I was that ancestor caveman, I would be disappointed as fuck in myself. I'll be thinking, what kind of a bitch is this kid who can't even go and talk to some girls when he's in his peak years at 19? He's too scared to just go say hi to some girl? What's wrong with him? That's what I would be thinking. And I bet the ancestors are thinking that if you're too scared to go and talk to girls, if you got limiting beliefs, if you got all these things that are holding you back from having success, your ancestors are probably disappointed as fuck in you. So you got to overcome that and make them proud, because starting to act like a caveman is probably the primary way that you are going to actually get good with girls. See, before I started talking to tons and tons of girls and trying to sleep with them, I was shit with girls, but you learn so much after me genuinely now, after 3, almost 4 years at this point, having talked to thousands of girls, you start to develop a high level of intuition, and you start getting really good at all the different phases, from initially talking to a girl, building that initial rapport, developing a connection, going on dates, sleeping with them, whatever the whole situation, every step that's involved. You get really good at it, and this is how you're going to be smooth with girls. You're never going to be smooth with girls if you just wait for girls to come to you like I did at 19 and then try and interact with them. If you're not out there trying to make all the mistakes that you can possibly make to learn all the lessons you need to learn in order to get good, if you're just too fearful in order to try and do anything, you're never gonna be the most charismatic, smooth version of yourself that you could be with girls if you just tenaciously went after it and started talking to as many girls as possible, acting like a caveman did. And now what I'm about to tell you is going to overcome every single limiting belief and fear that you have. If you truly just embrace what I'm about to tell you, you should have no excuses to not go and talk to every single girl that you see that you find attractive. So when I go and talk to girls, I pretty much use the same intro every single time. I'm lazy with it. I switch it up time to time if it's situation dependent, but this is my go-to that literally is brainless. It's ingrained in my mind. I can be blackout drunk and not know what to say, and I would I would just automatically use this because it's so ingrained in my mind. No matter where I am, I just know this is what I say. So I go, "Excuse me," and make sure I get their attention unless we already have eye contact locked in, and then I'll go on to say, "What is your name?" It's so simple. Oh my God, it's so simple. It's so easy, and it works so much because I feel like it falls somewhere in the middle of the spectrum. It's not a cheesy pickup line. You're not saying, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful," whatever. And you're not also doing something dumb like asking her what time the place closes or what time it is, like some very intro ways of developing social skills and putting yourself out there. It's very in the middle. It's like you're obviously talking to her for a reason because you find her attractive. I wouldn't talk to an ugly girl and go and introduce myself to her. So you're like, she kind of knows why you're talking to her, but at the same time, you're not pedestalizing her. You're not saying that like anything really. You're just ready to qualify her and see if she's actually a person that you like. It makes it so simple, so easy. From there, I usually just go into saying, where are you from? Are you working in school? And at that point, the conversation will either take off or it won't. It's one of two options. If you can literally dumb it down to that simplistic mindset of, okay, I'm going to go up to her, ask her these 3 questions. I'm just going to ask her her name and the follow-up questions. And if it goes good and she wants to talk, we'll have a conversation for as long as the conversation can go. And I'll try and get her number or set up a date. And if it doesn't go well, then I'm just going to walk away and say it was nice to meet her. And if you literally just apply this mindset, you have no reason to not go and talk to every single girl that you find attractive, because the only person that's going to reject you if you don't is yourself. You're rejecting yourself before a girl could even possibly reject you. And this was one of the biggest regrets that I have for the first 19 years of my life. And there's like literally you have everything to gain and nothing to lose. Even the bad interactions will teach you things. You'll learn to pick up on nonverbal cues, different micro expressions. You'll see things that you'll start to piece together on a long enough time frame that will allow you to get really good at girls, back to the earlier point. So you have no excuse to not go up to every girl that you find attractive and just go and start with this simple, easy intro. And boys, once again, acting like a caveman is ingrained into the Confidence Transformation Guide. Pushing your comfort zone and doing the things that scare you, including talking to girls, is one of the best ways to develop true internal confidence by building trust in your word and doing what you say you're gonna do, even if you're fearful, even if you're scared to do it. This is gonna be a huge way that you can develop confidence, and it's exactly what I did at 19. So if you want that, plus all the other steps that I took to develop my confidence and become the man I am today, you can grab that for free. It's the first link in the description below.